Who would I like as my tag team partner? Well, someone perhaps easy on the eyes. I'd have to say, because otherwise I'll get in trouble if I don't say it, Santino Marella would probably be my best tag team partner choice. Don't tell him about the little Randy thing. So, yeah, he'd be a great tag team partner for me because obviously we go together very well. And I'd love to take on perhaps the new tag team champions, Kofi and CM Punk, because I do enjoy beating on Kofi every chance I get, and I know Santino does too, since he took his IC championship. But yeah, that's the one cool feature about this game that I'm really looking forward to delving into more is, you know, all the new tag team features. So I'm really excited to get into the game a little bit more.
I got a general question. I'm just wondering if you ever going to take the opportunity to challenge Tampa Florida and get that Diva Championship belt off the first women, the whole Diva World Championship belt at the same time?
Well, actually, on the My Network premiere, myself and Michelle did have a match, and I came out the victor, hitting her with the Glam Slam. It was a non-title exhibition match, however. So, should the opportunity arise for me to wrestle her again, obviously, there's nothing more that I'd love to have. You know, I have two shoulders. I'd love to beat Michelle again and, you know, carry more gold.
You'll have to get another title then.
Obviously, and you know, I'm sure Michelle would be game for something like that. She's been a fighting champion, and you know, if she's down, I'm down. I'd love to take her title.
Hey Randy, I heard that you're going to be performing tonight on the FCW show. What's it like for a guy like yourself, who's one of the youngest guys, you know, in the WWE, to enjoy the type of success that you've had? To have a chance to come down here and work with some of the young up-and-coming guys who are close to your own age and who can really learn something from your success.
It's really cool to come down here, man, because, you know, like I said, when I was in this situation, you know, the facility wasn't like it was now, but of course, when guys would come down, you know, like Big Show, Mark Henry, you know, thinking back to name a few guys, when they would come down, and I'd get to, you know, ask them, you know, those guys questions, you know, what's it like to do this? What's it like to wrestle in front of 80,000 people? You know, how's it travel? What, you know, it's almost like, you know, you annoy them a little bit. But then looking back, you know, that's awesome. You know, I can't wait for guys to approach me, ask me those questions, you know, whether it's about in-ring, out-of-ring, traveling, locker room etiquette. You know, I don't know if I'd be the best person to ask about locker room etiquette, but you know, I give them my best answer. You know, but yeah, you know, like I said, you know, it's going to be cool to be around those guys and hear what they have to say, comments, feedback, you know, because they're all excited. They love this business. That's why they're here. And, you know, there's a lot of kids coming up, too, whose fathers wrestle. You know, Joe Hennig, you know, for example, you know, I met him backstage here, you know, half hour ago for the second time, and I'd love to, you know, BS with him and just hear what he's got to say. Because, you know, I have a lot in common with a lot of these younger guys, these second and now even third generation wrestlers that are coming up. Whereas before, there was just, you know, a couple guys. You know, I was the only one that was around pretty much, you know. Carlito, you know, comes around, and now you got, you know, 10, 12, you got a dozen guys who grew up in the business. So I got a lot in common with these guys who did grow up in the business, and I've been around them a lot to talk about, you know, how it was growing up in the business. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Just to follow up on that, what does it mean to the WWE, and how do you see that shaping on the roster? Now you're seeing this influx of second and even third generation guys who really grew up in the business and have that experience from when they were kids before they were even old enough to step in a ring?
Well, I think it shows that, I mean, it's not like a coincidence, you know, obviously something genetically happens there when your daddy was in the ring before you. You just kind of pick it up quicker and you're just good at it and kind of got a little natural edge to you. I go back and I watch my dad, my grandpa, even my Uncle Barry, and laughter from the old tires. Yeah, there you go, thank you. But, you know, I don't mimic their movements, but a lot of times I'll see, you know, I'll throw a punch the same way my dad did, or the same way my grandpa did. I'm like, man, that's weird. You know, I watched all their tapes, but it's just kind of, it's just, you know, it's just in your DNA, man. So I think that, you know, that says a lot, the fact that all these guys are getting contracts, not because their dad wrestles, but because, you know, they're good and they want to get better, and they got that door open for them because, you know, it wasn't a family business. Just, you know, it's second nature to these guys. guys. It was second nature to me. I came down to Louisville, and I was getting, paid to learn how to wrestle with a bunch of guys that were paying to learn how to wrestle, and no one liked me. I said, get in the ring, Randy, throw a drop kick. I think I drop kicked the guy's knees. It was horrible. They all looked at me like, this is Bob Orton's son. What the hell is going on? Pissed off a lot of guys. A year later, I'm showing them how to do stuff. You just pick up stuff quick, when it's in your blood. So I see, the near future, you look around, you're going to see a lot of second, third generations coming up and making names for themselves on our show.
This question's for Beth. On the Moolah meter, the fabulous Moolah was the women's champ for 1,452 weeks. Women's champ for 11 weeks. What inspires you to carry the title for the 1,441 weeks? The longest running women's champion.
Well, I didn't come from a wrestling family, but I did grow up a wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan, and it was something that was a part of my family. I grew up watching with my grandparents, believe it or not. And Fabulous Moolah was someone that I grew up really admiring and wanting to emulate. Her, Sherry Martel, Medusa, several other girl wrestlers, and it was something that I always wanted to do, and it was just a passion that I had. And actually, on the independent scene, before I got involved with WWE, I had the fortune of meeting Fabulous Moolah and getting to work a couple shows with her. And I actually got to stay with her and Mae Young one night in a hotel room, which was an interesting story for another time. But it was a really, really cool night because I got to see how wonderful these two ladies are and how their love for the business never diminished over many, many decades. And it was so inspiring to me because I thought if I could ever be, half the woman that Fabulous Moolah is, I would be considered to be very lucky. So to hold this title that so many women who have come before me worked so very hard to make important, established, and meaningful, not only in my company, but in the wrestling business, is a huge honor to me. And to be put in that category is an even greater honor. So although the road is very long, much longer than Santino's, I'll do my best to uphold everything that this title stands for a long, long time.
Anthony. It's well-documented dedication that wrestlers put in. You guys travel all the time. What do you do on your time off? What do you guys like to do?
Time off. I'm here.
I can answer that. If you have time off, it means that you're injured. So when I broke my collarbone, it was my wife's 9-month pregnancy. So honestly, I caught up on my video games. She just sat, we had a little theater room, and she just sat next to me, eating potato chips and stuff like that, pizza and ice cream and pickles and stuff. And I just sat there in my sling. Couldn't do the Wii, Tried to do the Sonic and Sonic Mario Olympic Games and the run, you gotta do that. And I was like, I was running with the limp, it was awful. What? Mario.